Welcome to the Kawartha Small Business Podcast, where we believe the Kawarthas can be the most thriving region in Canada for small businesses. I'm Brian Rump from Profit Coach.
And I'm Matt Geraghty from Matty G Digital.
And we are recording from the Thrive Podcast Studio at Thrive Co-working Community, downtown Lindsay, Ontario at 18 Kent Street West.
We're recording this, we might make this a podcast episode. So we'll just talk like normal, and people can just deal with it not being instructed in an episode.
It's still technically an episode.
Oh, it is, yeah.
It's still content. It's still us working through something. It's still something that you have talked maybe ad nauseum about, depending on who you ask. So I don't think it's out of the realm. It may be boring if there's no context.
Oh, not boring at all.
I would give some context to it and then jump into it. But
yeah, you're okay to say this client name.
Yeah, absolutely. Geraghty Rentals, they are a event and party rental company in Scarborough, which is just outside of Toronto. I've worked with them for, I want to say, 7 years.
Okay.
Longer than Matty G Digital's been around. I worked with them many years ago at an Uber agency, and I probably shouldn't say this, but this is a conversation maybe for another podcast, but they reached out when I opened my own agency, Matty G Digital, and wanted to work with me. They're excited that I went out, and I'm very excited. I structured a lot of Matty G Digital around some of the thoughts that they really loved right away, which was no nonsense reporting, and actually having conversations with people and keeping it common sense. I remember I went down there and George, the owner at the time, angrily left the meeting. So kind of stormed out in the middle of the conversation, and then comes back with this like telephone book thick stack of paper, throws on the desk, and like, this is what my agency right now is giving me. What am I supposed to do with this?
Yeah.
Which was like a big thing that I knew was a problem from before I started my own agency. So it was good to hear that on his note. So like, okay, well, this is how I'm doing this.
Yeah, this is, I won't say this because we're recording, but remind me after, I meant to tell you yesterday, a quote from Donald Miller. I got a house last week, and we're discussing reports and things like that, and he had some very choice words. I've never heard Don swear.
Oh, really?
Because you only see recorded content.
Yeah.
But he is a normal person who swears and gets angry at things, and you were going to love what he said about people who show up with big, long, massive reports.
Oh, they're nonsense. There's thousands of numbers out there, and I can put together any story that I want. I just did my report for Geraghty Rentals today. I'm going to have a call with them. It's a presentation and it's one slide. There's 3 sentences on it. Here are the 3 things that we're doing. Here's some results. Here's where we're going next. And it'll be conversational. We'll be out of there in less than 30 minutes. The person will be happy. He's got 100,000 things going on. He doesn't talk to me any more than that.
I love that. So yeah, what we're actually recording this for and doing is we're doing a full story brand script. It's a story brand guide, and this is what I love to do most. With my story brand guide license, I am not able to do some certain things with that or certain content, but this, I'm not really teaching anyone how to do it, and I'm not going to explain it. We're just going to try to record this, and it'll be a bit of a mystery, but for people who are actually writing down where I'm writing it down, and there's some things I already know, but it just is a good way to get an inside look on what this type of conversation can look like. We've done this many times with clients, and we know this client really well, so this is very different than anyone or other ones, which is kind of a neat reason.
Yeah, I thought so. I thought it would be good because, like, we have talked about this a lot. We've talked about the story brain framework. We've talked about this exercise, and I did think it would work recording for people to kind of hear. I think you can ask some questions and we can talk. And like you just said, there's no client on the call here or in the meeting, which we normally do, but I know this about this really good. I mean, having worked on it off and on for 7 years. And I remember they reached out and we started off doing a lot of stuff together. And then COVID came, wiped it all out. We were able to keep doing SEO, kept that around for a couple of years. And then almost randomly had everything fall back into my lap again at the beginning of this year with a somewhat odd email that was triggered by another account. Reached out to Geraghty and was like, hey, we wonder how we can help you more this year. Had a conversation with them. The conversation started with, I don't think that I need marketing anymore. And by the end of it, I am now the fractional.
Awesome. I love that. That's just a great, yeah, it's a great story. So, do they also do storage?
No.
Another thing? For some reason, in my mind, they were doing storage, and I was all mentally prepared for storage. So this is a good start.
Yeah, great start. No storage, nothing beyond event, party, wedding rent.
Okay. What types of things do they rent?
They will rent tables, chairs, linens, plates, cutlery, glasses, mini fridges, coolers, barbecues, tent rentals. Tent rentals is the big thing. It's the biggest, as you can imagine. It's a large tent, makes a lot of money, profitable, and then weddings would be the big 75% to 80%.
Yeah, okay.
So I don't know if that answers everything. I will say, like, they don't rent dresses for events. They're not renting. They're not catering. No, it's not. They don't. They're not catering. If you want a casino night or a fundraiser, they rent that type of stuff.
Oh, okay.
So it's physical, all the stuff that you might need for an event. So at Thrive, if we had a big networking event or a fundraising dinner, we have a couple tables that we need more. We would use your vendor, rent the tables, and then like, well, you have linens, and you have your nice napkins, and you have your like knife, fork, and plate, and glasses.
Yeah.
And,
Okay, awesome. So what do people Google to find?
different type of events, usually wedding rental. They know that they need something like that, a tent, or hey, where am I supposed to get all of this material for money? Some event spaces will have that, but some don't, and I bet you the majority don't. Yeah. I think a lot of event spaces are renting space. Hey, you get this X by X size room, and you have to fill the rest of it.
Yeah. Yeah, because there's so much choice. I just know in weddings, people, chair companies.
Yeah.
What do you do? And so, like, if I'm just a wedding venue, I'm not going to store a million different types of chair covers that I may want, so they want me to rent to wedding rent.
Or in the case like the event space might have chairs, but they won't have the chair cover, like you said. So that's where you go to your wedding. Like, well, I don't want these folding card tables for the wedding, and I want it to match the rest of the
Yeah. So, how did they use this? So I'm planning with a wedding. Is it like different play from a website, or do you phone somebody and kind of help you decide it and know all this stuff?
both options. there is a quote or proposal builder that you can use on the site that I'm a bit surprised people use. They're currently in the process of taking the website over. And that was one of the first things I had kind of put to scrap. But it's used frequently. It looks like e-commerce where it looks like you can purchase all this stuff to rent, but at the same time, they know that the character doesn't know exactly.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, you don't even know sometimes. You're like, oh, I need some chair covers and some tables, and then it's like, oh, do you need your cutlery and wine glasses? And then there's probably options within that of like what matches, and then I'm just thinking of mini fridge and ice buckets.
Yep.
Like
Your garbage cans.
yeah, like all these things where you're like, oh, I didn't think of that, and they probably have like here's a package of what you probably need.
Exactly. And they take that first estimate or proposal that's built on the website. It really doesn't do anything other than like sort of tabulate some stuff and like start that sales process for them. And then someone reaches out to them and talks them through like they really need more, etc. Or someone can call, someone can send an email. Realistically, every person has to be spoken. I don't know, but I don't think that they can rent anything. Yeah. Even 10 chairs, which is probably not. But I don't think anybody can rent anything without having a conversation.
I like that. So how are people feeling in the
Oh, I bet they're panicked. They have to be panicked. They've got a big event, or even a small event can be stressful. Small event can be stressful, a big event. Wedding especially. I'll give you a bit like, so the big events are weddings, graduations, and then corporate events, which basically just falls into summer staff appreciation. Yeah. For medium to larger size. Those events are stressful. They're a lot of work. Wedding is like, again, supposed to be the best day of your life. So exciting. You spend a fortune. You want to go perfect. If it were me, I would go buy or I'd rent the chairs and then realize, oh, these things are done. So like you want all these things. Graduation, huge time in your life, or your parents are excited and proud to see you. You want that event to look well. And the same with the corporate. You want that in most cases, like the size of the businesses that are using them for this, want it to go well and smooth. But I think it starts with like a confusion. They feel confused at first. And then I think there's panic and there's stress. Stress period. Confusion and panic for the other one.
No, do they the corporate events, is it usually like direct like a event planner involved, or is it usually like, hey, you're the receptionist, you're also playing the job?
It is usually, I got to pull my notes up here because I asked this a couple of weeks ago, so I'm going to stall in a moment. I asked, usually it is an event planner that's part of the business, because it's a bigger type of business. Or they're working with HR or a receptionist or whoever.
Yeah, the social committee.
Yeah, so usually the businesses are big enough. It might even be like, think of a big bank. They have in-house events that they do. Same with the graduation. So like there's in-house event planners for tournament, training, etc.
I'll graduate. I was thinking like, how many people are having like all these graduations for like their kids? I'm like, not me.
No, yeah, so it would be like
Yeah.
college, university,
Okay, so big, yeah.
more so than high school, but college and universities. Like college and universities know how to do whatever they do, right?
Yeah.
They don't know how to organize. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're probably
Oh yeah, they're renting stuff.
and then they bring it on, right? They don't have to store it.
Right.
Tens of thousands of shares.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, we need the big tents for this. I think.
Yeah. So I guess the in-house event planner, they're probably not confused in panic, but they would be stressed, right?
Yeah, they'd be stressed. It's outside their comfort zone. Like they're probably like really good at what they do, but they don't do this every day. So
Right.
they're probably a bit easier of a sell because you're kind of facilitating. They probably are organized and they're the type who gets together and gives a spreadsheet and starts
Yes.
planning it all, but they don't want to have to run big stuff.
Exactly. Yeah. And then the wedding, it's typically the bride, in some cases, mother of the bride, but it's typically the bride. They're going to be planning. They're going to be confused. Like they know what they want, right? They have an idea. They've got this vision. They've got this dream, but again, they might not know this is the type of care that I want. So that's where I think that's really confusing. The panic of how much.
Yeah, you start realizing, like I'm internally panicked a little bit, just thinking about having to do that. And like a rental company, of like, hopefully you get a good one who's like, I just think of the garbage can. And it's like, oh, you didn't say you wanted.
Exactly.
Whereas they no, you need garbage.
Yes. Yeah.
Which I think is key to the service.
But I think this is what makes you the opposite volatility.
Yeah.
The ability to like order something and then the expert come in and say, no, you need garbage. You brought all this garbage. Who's doing garbage? Well, I think the event's going to go to space. Are you sure? I think the caterer's going to. What's going to happen when you've got all those empty plates piled up on top of each other?
Yeah, I've been to a wedding with no garbage cans before, and someone just didn't think about it. And then people like start asking random people. I was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what the plan is for garbage cans.
Yeah.
Like,
there's a story I heard on How I Met Your Mother, and I don't know if it's true or not, but it was about a big library that was designed somewhere in the world, maybe New York or whatever, and that or put together some beautiful plan, bookshelves, stuff. And then they built it because the architect didn't for the books.
oh yeah.
And it's like, what about the books? Well, that's what's making me think.
Oh, that's
what if that was
yeah. I love that. I know that the trend, the library is sinking into the river.
Oh,
Slowly because it was designed for like I forget how many thousand books and it double that.
oh, wow.
In there because it's really heavy. And even the lady Eaton College that was designed and then they didn't account for like washrooms. So they're kind of involved. There's like dorm rooms, and as you go down the hall, you go through like a section that's like the bathroom.
Yeah.
So it's like depending where your room is, when you're going to visit someone, it's like you walk through two bathrooms to get to them. And it's just kind of weird.
That's weird.
But yeah, that's funny. That's like part of it. You should remember garbage cans.
Oh, yeah.
How long have they been doing this?
I want to say 70. I'll
Okay.
confirm that in a moment. I think it's 70.
That's a lot.
Oh, 75. Price is Right rules. I was under. Okay.
Yeah.
75 years, owned by the Geraghty family. I don't remember the guy's name. I met him. Maybe it was even Cleveland brand. But the current owner now is Cleveland. So George owned it for a little bit. I don't know how long that was, but Cleveland bought it a couple years ago, and near the end of COVID, and to bring it back into the Geraghty.
Okay. What makes them the best at it?
I think there is something to be said about experience with this and size. The idea that they got that sort of calm presence when it comes to event. You might be able to call the new person that's got a couple chairs. It might look nice, it might look trendy, but you don't need cannot gamble on your event. It has to go through. There's no reason with it, right? It's not marketing where you can do something and we adjust and we adjust and with an event, it's one shot. Trying to figure out anything.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I was gonna deadpan in, but you only get one shot, one
Exactly.
opportunity.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at. So I don't think that you can, and not that there's anything wrong with something that's good, everyone has to start, but like you want this to go well. This is big dollars. Like my wife and I had a small wedding. What we thought was small. It still cost us $18,000, right? This is a lot of money. Being extracted from people.
Yeah,
You need to be like comforted in like their calmness, their experience specifically. And I think with experience also comes a large like scope of inventory and connections and ability to get stuff done. So they have 75 years of relationships with catering and venue and event planners. So you're a bride that's panicking and you need chairs, and then you realize, okay, maybe you can introduce them to an event. They don't even have a space yet, or they might need a table. They have a relationship. I think it's experience and scope.
yeah, this is really cool. Each, supply chain logistics, that running and, it's logistics.
Yeah.
And logistics is a big deal, and it's all the little bits.
And they're a massive, how big it is. Massive warehouse stuff there and Starbucks. Just massive amounts of funds coming and going. I mean, yeah, like you said, it is a logistics. It's more logistics. Right?
Yeah, that's just who they market to.
Yeah.
Like we're a wedding rent, we're a logistics company that
Yeah.
wedding logistics.
They're there on time and set up. They're there and set up on time every.
That's a big one, too. I think when I think of all the stories of like, hey, it's my wedding and we're driving 2 hours somewhere to get wine glasses because I'm a little rental company that got them. Or sent a bunch that were in India.
Yeah.
Like, I think all of these things that I've heard stories that is solved by one of the big ones that they're going to take care of.
It reminds me a lot like the HVAC company that we talked about, where you want the one guy with one truck who might be asleep at 1 a.m. when your house is freezing and your kids are crying because it's so cold, or vice versa? Or do you want the company that has 40 plus experts that have been around for, in this case, 75 years? You know that they're going to deliver on time. They're not going to disappear in the middle of the night. They're not going to run off with your money. You know what I mean? The single person, the one person, the new inexperienced person, like, they can mess it up. They you're gambling when you work with an inexperienced event rental. Your wedding day is not your day to gamble. You've got other cards that you're playing there that you need to worry about. You don't need to be worried about, are my chairs going to, if people have somewhere to sit. If people have somewhere to put their garbage.
Yeah. Cheers.
I like recording this because I actually find it keeps us much more on focus.
Yeah, I know.
Because if this was just me and you, we'd be off
I know.
tangents by now, which is why it's good to have like the client with us. But this is good to keep us on track. And then we're recording it, so like we can pull transcripts of some of the stuff.
Yeah, I like writing because it helps me with my creative process.
Right.
What's kind of the average size wedding?
I don't know. So I don't know that number. I know that they were like the big thing a couple years ago again around COVID was micro-weddings is what people were calling it. That was the actual term people were searching for. Backyard wedding or micro wedding. That could be like 10, 20, 50 people, right? So it could be up to 100, 200 plus. But again, I think with a company like this, if you are 10 people, they have a solution. If you're 100 people, they have a solution. If you're 1,000 people, they have a solution. They were selling tents for vaccination a couple of years ago too. So like there's literally lovely music festival, trade shows.
So who's the core of the website?
It should be for the bride or a event planner.
I'm curious what the sales process, because it's probably that once they build a relationship with like the college, they probably have a bidding process. They're not those people are randomly and
Right. So the characters that we came up were was we've got the bride, like I said. There's an element of family involved. Mother of the bride can be involved. Father of the bride can be involved. So the website also needs to look good to the mother and the father. The father is often blamed for it, though from historically from inversions. So dad needs to see that this is not someone again that's going to run off my money. Like dad doesn't want to do that. There needs to be an element that this site is doing. What we're talking about is doing. The next character would be the event planner, which we talked about, and then the two different planners, the corporate planner, and then the graduate.
what's the primary callback?
I think it should be. Oh man. You get any stats from Donald Miller, for lack of a better term, for the call now work better or call today?
Now is better than today because now it's a urgent.
Right. Today
And what we want is a direct call.
right.
It's not that.
Right.
Donald last week we were talking about like bad money stories in business, and one of the bad money stories is he said like marketers are afraid to ask for money. They kind of hope so like call now, let's pick like call now if you want your money versus if you can guess how on this website you could submit a request to maybe talk to us.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll let you talk to sales, but there's a lot of possible.
Yeah.
So either today is better than always sometimes. And it, probably one of those things that maybe for your audience, there's one that's mildly better than another one, but
Sure.
they're way better than one. Don't put them
We use it very, very, very infrequently when we can't fit it elsewhere, something else, but I'm pretty much locked in with what you just described.
Yeah.
Really my own opinion, but also, no, because when I first started, I was, let's give them whatever option they get, which was also, and then through talking to you, I did switch to like laser focus on. So my website, Thrive is rent space. The podcast is listen, right?
here's what we want you to do, and people who are engaged will find other ways to interact.
The plumber is called 24/7. The HVAC is call.
Yeah. And if people don't want to actually be on a call right then, there's other ways you can figure it out.
Oh yeah, like you still do have the
Right. Yeah, because I just think of that if I'm mechanic, and maybe not quite ready to call just yet, but I want to know how.
But yeah,
I think. I don't know.
my guess is the panic bride, the event planner call. The bride might call, but also they're all probably content with I email them in or reach out to me now and they're gonna get back to me. Yeah. The event planner realizes every minute can kill everything.
Yeah.
So they call. But I think the event, the bride, maybe they're a bit younger, they're in their 20s, they're in their 30s. They're used to email them to get back. There is no urgency at that point. It's urgent if they don't get a right away. Right?
Are they currently doing like sales funnel lead generators?
No, not yet.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, because like, right away for that transitional one for that bride, I think it's exactly like, what's your micro wedding checklist?
Yeah.
The backyard wedding checklist. They're just the common packaging for itself. Include all the stuff.
The interesting thing that we talk about all the time is that people don't call it wedding executives, right? The HVAC company that's trying to sell an air conditioner wants to sell that in April or May.
Yeah.
But people don't call until July or August. Brides are the only people that I think I've ever come across that call when they're supposed to. They know that it's going to take a year or 6 months or months when they actually call.
Yeah.
Brides are not calling, hey, I've got a wedding tomorrow. Maybe a 10 and 1,000 trips, right?
Unless they hired the guy with the van who didn't show up.
No, true, absolutely. Yeah. The event planner, they're probably more tight on time because they're probably, something happened and we save this event. But that I do think.
Yeah, I love the idea of give the bride something for.
Yes.
Here's what it's going to be, something you can share with dad and mom.
Yeah.
Right? That's like, oh yeah, this is why this costs this much. Is because you didn't think about garbage.
Yeah.
Right? Because I'm the same. If you're paying her like a tent costs what? It's tents. Tents are expensive to go up and have someone actually put them up properly.
I don't think that they will leave the tent there without putting it.
Yeah.
Yes, I think that it would be impossible. I think it has to come with installation.
Yeah. I was just thinking of as a kid at a large scout camp. We had the move one. It was like a giant. Anyway, and now I look back and I'm like, oh, that was not a safe thing to have teenagers.
That seems insane.
Oh, yeah, look, no, it was insane.
Yeah.
We just had like a bunch of people like holding up the poles and walking with them. I'm like, why was I inside a giant tent walking, holding up a pole?
Oh, yeah.
With 5 people? Like, that was ridiculous. But anyway. Yeah, so let's so if you don't go with your day, you're gambling. Which shares might not be there.
You're gambling, but to put it even more clear, what we like to do is what does that mean?
Yeah.
You're taking a chance that your event is going to be ruined.
Yeah.
Do not gamble. Do not get that. And maybe we use our take a chance.
Yeah.
The gambling would be.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't necessarily use it, but it's the idea.
Yeah, but it is, you're taking the chance that your event is going to be good. You're taking the chance that you are going to be, so what does it mean if your event is, you're going to be embarrassed. You're going to be ashamed. you're gonna look like an idiot or think that you look like an idiot. And the event planner getting fired.
Yeah, or you've already paid them.
He's creating bad memories. I'm thinking the realistically, you know the bad one. You're not gonna not the other day. But your marriage is
Sometimes it's a kind of a funny story, but it's
Sure.
like, do you want the
you want
most
that funny story or not?
memorable thing? I was just thinking of, I remember a wedding where like the chairs were late. And it's just like the guests are putting the chairs up while the bride is standing there waiting for an aisle to get formed. Like, it's kind of fun and everyone comes together, but it's like, is that really what you want the most memorable moment of your day?
No, you definitely don't. And like, yeah, you're not gonna get fired. You're not gonna lose your job, but you're creating bad memories for a lifetime. Because I know bad weddings you went to because you told me the stories.
Yeah. So look, successful result for the day is like, I think it's like you don't even have to think about that stuff.
Yeah, and I think sometimes we, from a marketing perspective, might get a bit lazy where we say like, relieve your stress. It's like you take away the stress, but we need to be better, like stronger than like that is what we're doing, but I think we're doing more. It is a massive relief. You are thinking of 1,000 things, and this is something super critical.
Yeah.
Making sure that you've got the proper size tent. You're gonna have a wedding outside and it's raining or it's windy, and you need that tent, right?
Yeah.
Don't overlook the tent. I think it is a relief. Just, I think you tie so many, like you tie your wedding to like so many good things, and you have like these weird nostalgic memories about things from your wedding, and you think that the smallest thing could have been like, it feels like a bigger because of that. So like you are going to create, you're going to feel, but it's like, it's happiness and it's like almost nirvana. That's the feeling of happiness you receive from when your event goes successful because of a small or a large.
Yeah.
Just a complete relief. It's not a relief of, oh, sweet, I went to the bakery and I got the last one. That was me. This is the event that I've been planning for months, maybe a year, that cost me tens of thousands of dollars. Was successful because of the wedding. That is like a deep love.
Yeah, I think it's just like just not having the stress about that.
Yeah.
The value is so high.
Fretful.
That it's almost like the absence of failure is the success.
Yeah.
Because ideally you don't think, right? Like, oh yeah, oh, and by the way, we have like you just take it for granted.
Yeah.
And that's probably what they want.
What I think I'm trying to get at before, it's a different thought actually, but I don't want to say that taking care of this will remove all. I think we do kind of want him back then. You're going to be stressed. This is one element that you don't need to think about.
Yeah, I was thinking, like, I wonder how many, what's the average number of items that they would get. It's probably thousands. Like, it's like, you've got 4,000 things on your mind, we take care of 3,000.
Oh,
Because it's like, you think of like every piece of cutlery, wine glass, tablecloths, and pegs. Right? Like somebody is showing up here. Like it seems so easy that it's put together.
Yeah.
But like I helped out with the labor. There's so many like DIY things. And you just think of like, it's like if I put in 100 for this tent. Like you think, oh, this is a 2-hour job, and 8 hours later you're exhausted putting up a tent, and then you're setting up the spoons. Like it's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And they take care of everything.
The event doesn't happen if you don't have the event.
Yeah.
So if you're at a graduation, you've got a 100 chairs outside, and you've got a podium and a stage and all this stuff. It doesn't happen if it's pouring without your tent, and vice versa. If you've got this tent and nowhere to sit, or people have a place to stand, or you've got all these chairs, but where are they going to eat? And what are they going to eat off of? The event doesn't happen. Events don't happen without your venue.
Do they have any current play on
No, that's a real thing. I work with that as well. And then there's something really something about gambling, but like realistically, I'm gonna use that and play with it. Your event doesn't happen. Forget failure. Forget the fact that it's not gonna be good.
Oh,
Your event doesn't happen without your event.
just my youth was like renting and borrowing, and it's so much fun stuff. I just could never do it. You really understand the benefit of it.
We were into the space. Geraghty Forest Center, I think it's called. And we had to do everything. It was stupid. It was dumb. I don't regret it, but Meg and I would talk about maybe very different. I would have some with that.
Oh yeah,
Like when you're young, I think how old was I? 25?
oh, and like
26?
it's a ton of money.
Yeah, still a ton of money.
Sometimes you
Even
gotta-
more money back then.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and sometimes you have a gang of friends and like everyone kind of helps each other out with each of the weddings.
Yeah.
A bit.
And we did that, but then like I just always hated the idea.
Oh yeah. Yeah. All right. What would be like? How do they compete on like are they a luxury brand, mid price? They're obviously not the guy in the truck competing just on price.
I don't know at all. I don't have a good understanding of that whatsoever. Frankly. I don't know what their pricing is compared to others. I would say, circle back a little bit. Yes, I've been working with them for 7 years, off and on. In the last 3 months, I'm doing more than ever with them, and this is kind of the start of it. A better understanding what they are competing on. I don't think that there is ever been competing on. I am not in stuff. Maybe that's the perception of. I think they've been instilled, rightfully so, in marketing, or they've been running on experience and stuff. I think now I would like to meet them with at least good looking website, more functioning. The website I'm looking at right now, both by the time people listen to this, it's just badass on the page. So it's like this ridiculous banner up here about doing the team, and then a weird placement for a contact and then quote, and then talking about a showroom visit to book an appointment, and then there's outrageous amount of things in the menu, can double menu, which I don't know if I've ever really seen. And we're working towards basically these 5 things that we're doing with here and condensing a lot of stuff and killing some pages around it. So making it clear and simple, clean, simple. This will be live, probably by May or June. So I think we'll launch it, and then we'll go back and we'll update with some story brand on the homepage, the adult page, two of the big service pages, and then just to kind of clean this up.
Funny. It reminds me of, so when I think of these, I think of a lot of movies, and it'd be like, I like the Hallmark movies, is like someone's a wedding planning or like an event planning.
Yeah.
There's always chaos, but then like what shows up is like the really fancy truck. Everyone's like dressed in tuxedos, moving these like luxury chairs
Yeah.
everywhere. And I don't get the impression that there's that.
No.
Because I'm always like, this, it's like somebody who has no money in the story yet is at an event that looks like it costs like $100 grand for some of these things. They remind me of just looking at that website. It's kind of like a cool orthopedic. The family business this long.
Yeah.
You don't even know the quality that they're producing.
How good they are.
And don't see the bigger maybe what. And this is more for orthopedic and doing a lot of expansion.
Yeah.
And now that it's you just kind of take for granted that people what they need.
Yeah.
They're probably not really overpriced.
Sure.
They know what they're doing, so people might think they're quote unquote expensive. And they have to think that.
My guess is like the margins are small too. Like they own a lot of this stuff. It's probably been paid for. A lot of what they're selling is the service at this point too. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's a neat the rental business. We used to benefit some different rental businesses, and if you run it well, it's very profitable. But some get caught up doing things well.
Yeah.
But I can see over time once you rent it and cycles of it a few times, I can paid for it. But then you got to pay the store. So it is a nice service and rate it and you get it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So making it clear and easy.
Yeah.
Trying to think if anything we haven't covered. I've got my page full of various notes. And then the stuff that's in
This one seemed clear and simple. Switching away with time. Last thing we did.
yeah, some of them are really like this is a tough process. What's neat about this is you worked with them for a long time. And then I kind of got it, and it's mostly about simplifying.
Yeah.
And like discerning what's working.
Yeah.
Which is kind of I think this is like also a good example of why we work with because there's some things going on here that from the outside people might not pick up on. But after some training I did last week, I'm like, oh yeah, this is why this works and why we can do it. And like you've done all the background in.
Yeah.
And it kind of fits together, and then over the course of creating it, it will come together more, and then it looks simple and easy. Like a good event.
Absolutely. That was a good way to end it.
I
just stop talking. I'm sorry.
No, we're gonna stop. We're gonna end this now.
And that's our show. Matt, what do you want the people to know and where can they find you?
I want them to go to mattygdigital.com and book a call.
Awesome. And I want them to go to profitcoach.ca and book a call with me. If you'd like to be on the podcast, please reach out to us and we can make that happen at set it up at kawarthasmallbusinesspodcast.ca.